Hey everybody, it's me again. I've been making a lot of video content lately, but a lot of stuff seems to be coming and creeping into my mind to talk about. So I hope that you're having a good week, and thank you for joining me for another YouTube video. Let's go ahead and get right into the topic because you've already seen the title card, you've already seen the thumbnail, because I'm not sure what I'm even going to make yet, but I'm sure it's going to probably give away what I'm talking about. So let's talk about a game recommendation. Now, this is a series that I kind of want to do a little bit more because I think it's a really great series. It opens up a lot of discussions as far as what we want to see from the next one. You know, I'm not sure what to call it yet outside of that. But it's basically a what I would like to see from a game. I already did one before where I talked about what I want to see from the next Mario Kart, called Mario Kart Cross, Mario Kart 9, Mario Kart, whatever they end up calling it. But that's just an example. And we have a Nintendo Direct coming later today. So maybe we'll get this game talked about. Maybe we won't. But just on the off chance that it is talked about, I do want to sort of throw my 2 cents out there as far as what I want to see from the next StarFox. StarFox is one of those series that I've really enjoyed playing over the years, ever since the Super Nintendo days. I've had my gripes about it being kind of samey. That being said, I mean samey like StarFox 64 and StarFox on the Super Nintendo were basically the exact same game. You did basically the exact same opening. You had the multiple paths. Andros was the boss at the end. There's nothing wrong with it being samey, but let's throw it and mix it up a little bit. So what would I like to see from the next StarFox? Well, I'd like to see a combination of some stuff that we kind of got in previous games, all kind of blended together with some new and unique mechanics. One of those is the classic multiplayer needs to continue, but it needs to be online. And of course, we need to be able to choose the battle that we want right away instead of just, maybe you can put it behind some kind of easy unlock like beating the game. But I would like to be able to see your traditional, dog fights with the R-Wings, but I'd also like to see that go to land. Maybe the R-Wings can go to tanks. Maybe they can go into the little walking leg mode like we got in Star Fox Zero. And I'd also like to see land battles where, you can run and you can shoot and all stuff. And throw the chaos in there. Let's make it like Titanfall, and all this is going on at the same time. You have land battles where you're battling on foot, right? While R-Wings are dropping down on the ground and walking around and shooting people. Let's make it like that. Let's just throw in the chaos of people flying around with R-Wings, battling those that are on foot. And if you're in the R-Wing, you can go between land and air easily. But if it's destroyed, you have to wait like 5 minutes or whatever and survive on foot. But then you can call it back. Basically making it like a Titanfall-like game, but with that unique Nintendo spin. You can even do stuff like kind of what we got with the Metroid game in Nintendo Land, where if you're on a team, you can grapple on to the ship and go around and fly and shoot that way. Very unique stuff, very fun, I think, just grand stuff when it comes to the multiplayer. That's what I'm talking about, taking it to the next level while keeping it basically very similar. Next, story. The story really has never been the key part about StarFox, right? But I would like to see it to where it's basically identical to what we've had before. You start off in Corneria, and then you have the different branching paths, but let's make those paths clear. Let's have it to where maybe there's an objective up in the corner, to where maybe the first time those are locked, like they're grayed out, you only see one path going forward. Then after you beat the game, those branches start to show up in the different areas, as far as you can go left here or right here. And when you get back to those areas, the objective tells you, find secret path A, or whatever. Or it tells you to check on the left after the mini boss, or whatever they choose to make it to where you can find those paths easier and give some replayability to the game. Now, I know it already has replayability, but sometimes finding those paths and what you're supposed to do is a little bit difficult, so maybe some kind of a hint system to find those, even if it's behind a start menu where you press start and you go to hints Maybe it gives you something there. Something to help. Okay? And second, I would like to see more variety. Maybe we can add on to StarFox, or we can choose. Like, of course, Fox McCloud would have to be there. Maybe Falco can be there also. But after that, the other two members are up to you. If you want Peppy and Slippy, add them. Go classic style. You want to throw in Crystal, and maybe for some reason some members from Star Wolf have chosen to come over, because maybe there's some big grand enemy where they've all decided to start joining forces. Can do that. That's something that I liked about Star Fox Command on the DS, was that there were certain points in time where I was playing different characters. That were not a part of the Star Fox team, and so it basically became different abilities and just different paths that can be taken and different story branches. So that's something that could be also interesting, is throwing that in there and having it to where maybe if you play with let's say Slippy, he's got some kind of an ability in there, right? That other characters don't have. So when he does it, it adds strategy, and maybe that can be a part of the path branch also, right? To where if you have a certain character in your party, they are easily going to gravitate towards where that secret path is, because they have something like a flamethrower that's going to break down an ice wall to get you to where that path is. Does that make sense? Something like that, where it encourages you to switch party members before you go into different missions. And I'd like to also maybe see some kind of a combination system rather than a super bomb. Nothing wrong with a super bomb if you have maybe the classic team, but if you start mixing up to maybe like Wolf McDonald, I think is what his name is, and Fox are all in the same team, they get some kind of unique combination working together. Now, whether you still want to keep this as a 2-player game, as a 4-team game, or you want to make it be 2 and you do split screen multiplayer, that's fine. I would also like to see some kind of online story element with 2 people, and that's where the combinations could really start to be unique. It almost becomes like a double dash kind of situation, to where everybody has a unique ability and you swap who's doing what, but you're also working together, because it's more grandiose in my head than I'm making it sound, I'm sure, but I think it'd be very fun and very unique. And when it comes to everything else, just come up with unique planets. Let's not use the same story over and over again, because I feel like when I played Star Fox Zero, I was just playing the first game again, and it was kind of talking about his father and all that stuff like that. And it's cool, because I understand it was a generation since. But let's just try to do something different. Maybe Andros is dead, but he has a son. Or maybe because he's more machine than anything, they're trying to get the parts to bring him back for whatever reason. And so again, or it can just be a new threat. And that's the reason why they have to team up. Just saying. Outside of that, though, I would like to see a lot of customization when it comes to the controllers. And I think that this is probably one of the best parts of the game, outside of all the great stuff that I've said when it comes to Star Fox, is that you can make use of any controller. What I mean by that is you can choose in the menu to play the game Super Nintendo style, right? So you pull out your Super Nintendo controllers that you bought from Nintendo for the Super Nintendo online app, and now you're able to play Star Fox like the classic Super Nintendo style. You want to play it like N64 because you got this controller that's not being used for very much outside of the N64 app? We got you. Put it on 64 mode. And now the game will play very similar to like it does on the N64. You want to play it with like the Wii U style, where you had the motion controls to move up and down and all that stuff. Just play it with motion controls. Or turn those off and just play the game classic style with the Switch, using the Joy-Cons and the analogs and their buttons and all that stuff, you can choose. And maybe throw in 5 styles. I don't know if you want to necessarily release like a GameCube style, because that would basically probably play very similar anyways to how it would play with classic controls, but you kind of get what I'm saying. Make this to where if you're playing it maybe in portable mode, you can do entirely touch mode, kind of like what you could do with StarFox Command. You know, where you can just simply use your finger to move it up and down, left or right, and you don't even need to have a Joy-Con. And you can just simply play it in tablet mode like that with touchscreen. That's all I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with the StarFox formula at all. It's very grand. In fact, I've thought about going back and playing StarFox Zero again. 1, to give an excuse to hook up my Wii U again. And 2, really to give it a fair shake, because I just played it once and finished the story, and then never really tried to find the branching paths and figure all that stuff out. So to really give it a try. And really, I'm just kind of in a StarFox mood. So maybe this Nintendo Direct has something in there. Who knows? But I just kind of had this feeling in me lately for StarFox. So I wanted to talk about it, talk about my ideas for StarFox, and also get your opinions. Do you like any of the opinions I've talked about here in this video? Do you have something very unique and interesting that you would like to see come from StarFox? Put those down in the comments. I'd love to hear what you have to think about it. And how interested are you in StarFox, really? Like, is this something where you would even want to see StarFox come back, or are you just kind of done with it? Because, like, what else are they going to do with it that's not outside of, you know, other stuff that is very similar? And just not thinking about it, doing the split-screen multiplayer would be a great way to incorporate a 2-player bout, a 2-player mode of the game, like what StarFox Zero was trying to do, between using the gamepad and using the TV screen with the Pro Controller, but without having to go so far as you need to have a whole separate controller to do it. You can just simply take the 2 Joy-Cons that you should already have with your Switch, turn them sideways, and play them like that with split screen. That's just me. But I see that this video is pushing 13 minutes, so I do apologize for taking up so much of your time. I appreciate if you watched this all the way through. Feel free to give me a thumbs up if you like this content, so I know that you've seen it and you like it and you want to see more stuff like it. This will really tell me if this series is working and something that people are interested in, or if it's something that I should just kill off right away and just go to just doing regular news reports. And again, like I said earlier, feel free to leave a comment and subscribe, because outside of the occasional fluke where I'm just mentally exhausted and I can't really feel like doing much of anything outside of work and laying on my butt, I try to do video content at least once a week, and this particular week I've just been crazy making content just about every day. But I just appreciate any support that I can get one way or the other, guys. I hope that you have a great week. If I don't make any more videos, I hope you have a great week. And if I do make another video, I'll talk to you next time in the next video. Have a good one.